So, how's it going? I am sorry I haven't done a battle in a while, but I'm just... I got a lot of work to do at college, and I've just come home from the gym, and you know, it's all going well, but I would like to do some more editing. I've also been trying to do an Armour 2 best quotes with me and my buddy Toby, but bloody hell, that's taken up so much time, effort and space. It's just so annoying. I just want to get on and do some Shogun vids. And then he also wants to play like League of Legends, so I'll probably play that after with him. But anyway, going off my personal life and how brilliant it is and awesome I am, we're going to talk about Shogun 2. So this is a Fall of the Samurai battle. I played it yesterday, last night, before I went to beddy by bow time. But just to put it into perspective, this is the first Fall of the Samurai battle you have seen me play pretty much as Fall of the Samurai. So I have already played a few matches. I think I I also have another battle I might show as well. But let's just get kicking. So I'm a 1-star general, and my opponent, so over here, it says he's level 5, but he was actually level 7. He was actually a level 7 general, which was daunting enough. I just put lol, you know, you've won this in the chat, you know, this is going to be nice and easy for you. But we'll see how the battle sort of pans out, and I'll go into the troops. So I separate those guys. So I've got some Yariki over here, whose base stats are very good. We've also got some Red Bear. These are both veteran units, but I failed to actually put anything on these guys to upgrade them. So we've also got some Spear Levy. Always bring Spear Levy to a battle. It really does help you a lot. And I'll also show you some tactics, should I say, with those. I'm yet to change from this horrible and ugly mustard colour. I'm also, have to change that colour, it's disgusting. And here's Mr. Captain J. Thompson, as I've called my guy. And over here, rather interesting decision, I've also bought some Kachi, and they're supported by Spear Levy. So I should have 2 of those guys. Yes, I do. I do have two Kachi. So we'll go over to Mr. Opponent. He has got also 2 Red Bear, and that'll be Toby messaging me most probably on Skype. He's got some Katana Kachi, which are very good. To be honest, I do think Fall of the Samurai melee troops should be nerfed heavily. They shouldn't be as good as the Samurai units, really, I don't think. He's got some Spear Levy as well, he's got his General, and I think that's it. I think that's all he brought to the battle, really. So we'll get kicking into this behemoth of a battle. Well, not really, because he's bought about 4 units, I've bought about, what, 7? So, there's a farmhouse, there is archery dojo, and there is a morale shrine, which is placed literally on the edge of the map, which I'm not sure what happened there, but it's a bit weird. So, my army, because he was level 7, I was level 1, it was really hard to try and pick an army, considering that I've only been playing this game for a few days. I got it last Tuesday, but I haven't really had much time to play it. So, choosing an army was hard. I wanted some mobility, so I went with just 1 Yariki. I was going to have 2 Yariki, but unfortunately I wouldn't have enough for any Spear Levy. Now, you have to bring Spear Levy to a battle, definitely. Because they support your units, they protect flanks, can protect against melee charges, so really they're a very good all-round unit, although you wouldn't have thought so. Kind of like the modern equivalent of a meat shield, like my Nagi attendants. Good for soaking up hits, charges, against cavalry, whatnot, you get the drill by now. And also I decided to also place my Spear Levy next to you know, both range units, because you want to be protecting them, really. But the reason I bought Kachi is because the range is a huge bonus when playing this game. I mean, if you've got 150 range units, you can outrange. You know, you can outrange his men, which is what you want. Because playing this game, I have realised several things. You know, I'm getting used to the mechanics of the whole thing, and it seems to me, although most kind of ranged infantry seems to be having about a range of about 125, like these red bears, for example, whereas bow units tend to have 150, and also, as I said before, it's that arc of fire. You know, it's that up and over fire, whereas guns are just straight line of sight. This is another thing you want to be doing as well, is elongating your troops. Early stages in the game, I think it's just like kind of bear infantry, like white bear, black bear, and red bear. I don't think they can do the kneel thing with the front rank kneel. So really, you're only kind of shooting, the only units that are shooting from this kind of battalion, if you like, of troops will only be the front rank. So you want to be having a massive front line. You just really want to be having one single line. You don't want to be bunching them up and, you know, making several kind of lines of infantry. You just want a nice, basically, like, you want your front line to be as long as possible, because you want as many of your men to shoot at once as you can. So really, the archery dojo is what you want in Fall of the Samurai. Forget about the morale shrine. You want the archery dojo. The archery dojo is pivotal. I mean, I haven't upgraded any of my guys' stats really. I think I upgraded one. I think that was accuracy. Yeah, I think it was accuracy. Yeah, it was accuracy on this one. Whereas you look at his guys, 55 reload skill, 50 reload skill, is that? No, sorry, 45 reload skill and then 50 accuracy. So these guys against my red bears will basically dick. They'll absolutely destroy. So any benefit is a huge, huge advantage. I mean, if he got this, I would be screwed completely. My red bear infantry would just get annihilated by his red bear infantry. So really, he went for the farmhouse. Even in Fall of the Samurai, even when the key buildings priorities have changed, really, farmhouse? No, you don't want to be having that at all. So because I kind of took this hill, I then also charged for the morale shrine with my Yariki, and I'm now in possession of that hill. I mean, the morale shrine is okay, but really, you don't, I mean, it's just kind of there. I mean, if the archery dojo isn't there, then by all means go for the shrine or the melee defense one, so the armor dojo, armory, or whatever it's called. You want to go for the armory for that melee defense stat. But really, you kind of want archery dojo, melee defense, and morale. Those are the key buildings you really want, unless you're going kind of melee heavy. Just to clarify as well, melee, for any foreign viewers, melee means hand-to-hand combat, so sword to sword, spear units, that's what melee is, and it's spelled M-E-L-E-E, that's how it's spelled, just to tell you, just in case you didn't know that, because obviously, like, some of these words I come out in the kind of technical words, you might not understand. I'm kind of trying to speak a little bit slower as well, so that people can understand me a bit more. So, here's the Yariki. I've put these guys down because I want him to be worrying. I want him to constantly be in fear of this flank. It's a big cavalry unit, 60 men. He's going to have to continuously be thinking about it. He's also got a melee general, which I found rather bizarre. Don't know why you'd bring a melee general. Fall of the Samurai, you always want to have a ranged general, always. Pretty much. I couldn't really think of any reason you'd want a melee general. Not really. But you kind of want. I mean, look, the accuracy stats 90, reload skill 65. That is insane. That's also due because of the archery dojo. Reload rate of all missile units and restores ammunition supplies. Absolute pivotal key building in any Fall of the Samurai army. So here's Captain J. Thompson chilling on his horse. To be honest, this is a very, very slow battle. I'm really not gonna lie. That's the problem with Fall of the Samurai. I just get so bored of it. It's just players online. You're so reluctant to shoot first or just to march up. You really are. So I'm trying to bait him. I'm trying to bait his general into charging down and getting the Yari key. Because my general will be standing there with his guns and he'll just pop some shots off. And with 90 accuracy, 65 reload, he'll be able to chomp down the enemy general. As I was saying, you know, I mean, Fall of the Samurai, I do love it. It's really, really cool when you get volley after volley being shot off, but really, it's just so boring online because people are so, you know, they're just so scared about attacking. I don't blame them. I really, really don't blame them, but you know, it's a bit annoying, really, because no one wants to engage first. So I'm trying to bait his general still. I'll move my guys up a tad. Really, you don't want to be shooting straight from the off because I want him to get as close as possible, then pop some shots off. And here he comes. Here he comes. This is going to be good. Let's get some shots. Come on, Mr. General. Come on, Thompson. You can do this. Bang! Woohoo! Bang! Ouch! I took out 9 of his guys. His general is not going to be happy with that. Exactly what you want. Baited him. Didn't take any Yariki losses. He lost a third of his general unit. That is incredibly poor. You'd never want to do that. Well, if you're them, but if you're me, it's perfect. Now pretty much, it's now just going to be a stalemate. I've scared the living crap out of him. But he's not going to be wanting to move in now. So what I begin to do is to edge forward my bow Kachi, just ever so slightly. I'm starting to edge them forward. I'm trying to bait now his red bear infantry because I'm not going to go and attack him, you know, with my army when his army is almost pretty much superior to mine. I mean, he's got Katana Kachi. They'll tear my levy up, and they'll also tear up my red bears, and they'll tear up my bow Kachi. The only counter I've got to his Katana units is my Yariki and my general, really. So unfortunately, that's where we stand. I don't want to engage, he doesn't want to engage, and for good reason. I'm still trying to bait him. Nothing's really happening. Bit of a yawn. I'll try and go through some of these tactics so over the next few battles. I might do another battle if I can find it. It was the battle I was supposed to do for 19, but oh yeah, happy 20th everyone. This is the 20th video. I forgot to say that at the beginning. All these blossoms, oh, isn't that pretty? So yeah, this is the 20th video. Just thought I'd give it a mention. It's pretty much just me baiting with Yariki. Believe me, this was an incredibly boring match. He's now got a spear levy. I'm just gonna run back. It must have been quite funny, like being one of these guys and just watching this. And to be honest, I just get bored out of my mind. I truly do just get bored. I kind of just send my units up. This is an idea you want to be doing. You want to be hiding behind a building. I did a bit of a poor job here. I should have really layered them behind. And there go the fire arrows. I killed one. He got about 6 kills off that one volley, which isn't really too great. You've also got to remember that. Yeah, I mean, you've also got to remember that this archery dojo will replenish all my troops' missiles as well. So they'll resupply them with arrows. So I'll move the rest of my army forward just for him to run forward. Now, bow units versus gun units. Gun units are going to win, but it's all about positioning with the bow units. It's really... Okay, this is now getting interesting. So, after all of that micromanagement with my cavalry going up and down that hill, and also with my bow units, this is where it begins to get interesting. I've realised that he seems to be, you know, interested in this one flank. He feels that it's got pinned down. No, I'm not going to have that. So I run up my Yari key on this side to try and bait him. What I want what I want is his spear levy to try and come up to here, pull him away from his army, then I can manoeuvre around them into his Red Bear infantry and take them out. I'm also got another plan, is that I'm keeping my general up and I want to get him close to take some pot shots at his Red Bear infantry, while his spear levy, that way I've got no threat, and also it brings them out so my bow Kachi can have a good pop at them. Again, he's doing a bit of threatening with me, but it's just not going to work. I run back, I'm continuously keeping him on his toes. I had to retreat back my general because of the Red Bear infantry. This is what I mean, keep your men behind. And oh no, he just overstretched. He's overstretched, his morale is getting bad, my guys are beginning to unleash into him with no casualties at all. He's pulled out his spear levy too far away from his army. I'm now going to manoeuvre my Yari key around the side and hit his Red Bear infantry, giving him even further losses. Giving him a few extra losses. I mean, he's lost about 50 men, which is a substantial amount. I mean, I've lost more men in this little charge, but really it's kind of fully worth it. Because what I've now done, this unit's down to 85 men, 75, 72 men. This unit's down to 100 men compared to my 300 strong. So I deal him out of pain. I get 60. Well, he's only got 65 men left. I'm still beginning to take pot shots at him. He's now going to run his tired spear levy in. Not even tired, they got active. And I try to run away my Yariki as quickly as possible, because having this distraction force here makes me dominate the field. It means that I've got mobility. It means that I can run little hammer and anvils. Really, it kind of keeps his attention. And now he's bring out his spear levy too much, and now I'm just going to take some pot shots at it as well. Really, the bow Kachi is pretty terrible, but I mean it's a good little skirmishing unit. I mean, if someone's got the skirmishing powers, it will force your men forward, because if you sit there, you're going to get peppered, and your army will be depleted before combat really takes hold. But if you charge in, then obviously you're playing to their advantage. So bringing bow units or 150 range units is essential, absolutely essential, because what it does, it puts him in a negative position. He now feels under pressure because now he's lost all those units. The mobility of the cavalry is also key, because now I focused him over here, then I focused him over here, then I managed to run them in. Because of that mobility, I managed to manoeuvre my way around his spear levy, and I managed to hit him from the side. So he's lost a lot of men already. He's just going to be manoeuvring his spear levy. Let's watch this guy burn on fire. He's dead. The graphics do look very, very nice. See, he's lost about 90 men already. And this is where I realised, oh wait, I need to be putting them behind here, because what happens is that, if they're up here on this line, on the hill, they're going to be shooting down, and they'll be hitting this, or they'll be hitting these little bits of building here. So really, this kind of acts as a cover for my bow units, and it does actually make them sustain a lot less casualties. So we'll start zooming in again, or not zooming in, fast forwarding. As you can see, the farmhouse is incredibly beneficial. It's done pretty much nothing for him, except make sure these guys aren't tired. And now we're gonna get off. I forgot to put these guys onto fire at will, so there we go. I've now plopped them onto fire at will. These guys are now down to 60 strength, and I'm going to do some bow fire, because the bows, as I said, they can fire in an arc, which means they can fire over this. I've got an arrow there, but and I'm just going to start peppering them with arrows and volleys. So he's down to 43 men. I'm not really sure where his micro went. It sounded like it just went for a kind of stroll in the park, to which I then just responded with an awful volley. really I could have completely reduced that unit. If these guys, I didn't put them on fire at will, so they should have been shooting them much earlier on. But it was only when he began to retreat I was like, oh, why aren't you shooting, you morons? And that's how it pans out. So at the moment I'm in an incredibly dominant position. I've still got pretty much my whole army. The only guys that are actually sort of suffering casualties are my Kachi and my... ooh, where is it? Oh, where's my bow units? Oh, my cavalry is now gone for some reason. I think they charged me down. Yeah, they must have charged me down. No, that was the general. I think he routed them with his spear levy. But I mean, even his spear levy is down to about 76 strong. At this point, I completely forgot he even had katana Kachi. So I was kind of thinking, oh, he's only got, 20 men in his generals. He's only got spear levy, and he's barely got any red bear infantry compared to my still 300 strong. These guys are still on full health. And also, because they're both in the circle, they're reloading as well. They're resupplying, so they're never going to run out of ammunition. I really don't know what my opponent was sort of thinking. He had superior units. He should have just walked straight in, gunned down all of my Kachi. But you see, Kachi are very annoying units. They don't actually do any damage, but it's just the idea that you're... Oh, it's just the idea that, you're being peppered with arrows. It's just annoying. Even if you're not sustaining any casualties, any normal person would just simply get frustrated because you're being fired at. You might get a few casualties, but not really that many. So as you see there, he has 55 men left. And at this point, my men are more than capable of absolutely annihilating his Red Bear troops. Absolutely incredible. So I pull back my general, pull back Captain J. Thompson, because his general, if he gets into close combat, I will suffer greatly. We'll fast forward this. I've also placed down my spear levy to protect my flank, just in case his general decides to start chasing. Hello, sorry. Somebody had to just walk in and talk to me, so carrying on with the battle, flaming arrows, anything I'm trying to do to annoy him, make him rage quit, anything. He's really lost this battle, I'm afraid to say. Pretty much has lost it. There's not really much he can do. And yes, as I was saying, my spear levy, I'll protect him from any cavalry charges. I put my spear levy down here to protect any cavalry charges again. The only place which is really vulnerable is these red bears, but I mean, if he was to charge his cavalry, they would get destroyed from a frontal volley. So really, there's no weak point in my line. There's not really any weak point. His best hope is probably just either try and come down and take a few pot shots whilst in the trees, or just do an all-out frontal assault and try and take out my Red Bear infantry. Because if he can take those out, then he's won pretty much. I'd probably focus on my general, but again, if I'm totally honest, you won't even be able to get my general, because my micro in this battle was pretty much immaculate. My micromanagement was pretty astounding. He's really not going to get anywhere. I'm just beginning to pepper him with arrows. I'm sure he's getting very annoyed. I then take my Kachi up to try and fire at his general. It's quite funny watching them shoot really quick. Oh, he's beginning to shoot at me, so I move from behind here. He then charges down his Red Bear infantry. I mess them up. That's how this happens, how this rolls. I also really love the soundtrack in this game. The soundtrack in this game is so much better than the first Shogun game, I think. Especially the especially the victory music. That just gets me on a high. Anyway, I had to quickly reposition my red bear, losing precious and valuable time because the spear levy is now gaining momentum. I put my spear levy here so that he won't, well, it will just slow him down really, but he's now pulling his general over on the side because I charged these guys down to soak up any melee charges. I now need to get this spear levy over here before his general, he's got 29 melee attack, charges in. I'm desperately trying to do anything I can. I think I shoot him. Yep. Just a few more shots. Down to 12 men. And immediately he's going to start cutting my general down. I spin these guys around on their side to begin shooting at his katana Kachi, because really those guys are the game makers, but unfortunately they break under heavy fire and superior numbers. Oh my goodness. And his general is getting cut down. And there we have it. That be the battle. Here we go, the victory music. Yeah, I mean, really, because my army build is really odd. Really, I would have thought I'd bring a lot more gun units, but gun units aren't always the best option when playing on this game. I mean, I looked at the map and I thought, yeah, it's going to have lots of hills on it, so bring some bow units. By all means, bring bow units if you think it's to your advantage. Hiding them in forests, keeping them behind a ridge line, keeping behind a building even, you know, it can really save them a lot of casualties against gun units. And of course they don't dish out loads of damage, but at the same time they do kind of offer that pain and annoying sort of feel to your opponent. So given that he was about 7 stars ahead of me, it says it was 5, he wasn't, it was 7. Stop cramping my victory. It was 7 stars, I was a 1 star. To be honest, that was an awesome battle, I felt. Very slow, but a lot of tactics intertwined into it. Notice how I put my spear levy in front as well to soak up any charges, so that my gun units had plenty of meat shielding. So I mean, my bow Kachi actually did pretty darn well, if I'm honest. 80 kills, 50 kills, that's pretty good. Even Captain J Thompson got like nearly 100 kills. His katana Kachi was actually his best unit. Bloody hell, they were rank 6. They are actually his best unit, but they would have been cutting down my spear levy. They would have been cutting down these guys. And there you have it. So try and make another one soon, but just keep posted. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pretty darn good one. Bye bye.